Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. Oh, I was just looking at the book that I was going to share with you guys. And guess what? This week is going to be a little bit different this week because we're going to be focusing on grammar and writing all week. And our focus for writing is personal narrative. So all week, I'm going to be sharing books that are personal narrative. So the first book I want to share is a book called How I Spent My Summer Vacation by Mark Teague. And in this book, there's a character, he's right here. His name is Wallace Bluff, and he tells a story of how he spent his summer vacation. And this book uses lots of good descriptive and imaginative language. So it's a great book to check out and read. So try to see if you can check this book out at your Fresno County Library or on Sora. So my name is Mrs. Vane. I'm so excited that you can join us. But guess what? Are you wondering if your school made it on our top Sora checkout list? Well, let's see. So we're gonna start with the fifth school in the whole district. So let's see if it's your school. So coming in fifth place is Baird Middle School. So good job. Go Explorers. Boys and girls, if you want to see your school up there, make sure you're checking out books on Sora to read. Now, we have a lot of work to do today. Are you ready? Awesome, let's get started with our grammar lesson. So all week this week, we're gonna be focusing on nouns. Now, what is a noun? Well, nouns are, it's a person, like a teacher. It's a place, like a school. It's a thing or animal, even though an animal is a thing, but it's sometimes easier when we say thing or animal. So like a book and a dog. And guess what? A noun can also be an idea, and we call that an abstract noun. I know, that's amazing, isn't it? So an idea is, again, what we call an abstract noun. So it's something that we can't see or hear or touch or taste or touch, but it's something that is what we consider a noun. So we're gonna be talking about that also as we are learning different kinds of nouns this week. So I have a sentence for us, and I want you to help me identify my noun. So let's see if you can try to find the person or place, thing or animal or idea in my noun. Are you ready? Awesome, let's get started. So my first sentence says, the teacher reads a book about animals. Now, did you identify any nouns in that sentence? Oh, you did. Good. Let's see. What's my first noun? Good. It's right here. The teacher, right? And we said the teacher was a person, reads a book. Here's my book. That was my clue. And good. Animals. These are all what we call nouns. Good job, boys and girls. Now, help me read the second sentence. And again, let's see if you can identify the nouns in this sentence. Ready? The girl draws a picture of a tree. Are you looking? Oh, let's see. How many nouns did you find? Okay, let's check. The girl, good. Girl is a person, draws a picture. Picture is a thing. Good job. And a tree, good job. A tree is a thing. So in this sentence, there were three nouns, girl, picture, and tree. Good job. Now, let's practice with the third sentence. Help me read it. Remember, we're trying to find the nouns. Ready? He shared a bit of wisdom with his son. Can you find how many nouns can you find? Well, let's see if you guys can pick up all my nouns. He, and he is a person, but he is what we call a pronoun. We're going to be learning about that later. He shared a bit of, and guess what? Wisdom is a noun. And remember my abstract noun we were talking about? It's an idea, right? So wisdom is actually a noun. He shared a bit of wisdom with his son. Good. And son is a person. Good job, boys and girls. So wisdom and son are what? Are nouns in that sentence. Now in the next sentence is David saw a tortoise, a rabbit, and an owl. Did you find all the nouns? Good. There was a tortoise, a rabbit, and an owl. And you're right, David is a noun, and we're going to be learning he's what we call a proper noun. But did you also notice something when I was reading it? I said David saw a tortoise, a rabbit, and an owl. You see how I'm listing 3 animals? Guess what we need? You're right, we needed commas. David saw a tortoise, a rabbit, we're going to put a comma, and an owl. So when you're listing nouns, or what we call a series of nouns, we need to put a comma to separate them. So let's see if you can practice your nouns as you're reading. So if you're reading, try to find nouns when you're reading. And guess what? This week we're going to be working with personal narrative, and as we write or think about our writing, we're going to be including lots of nouns in our writing. Awesome job, boys and girls. So let's go into our focus writing for this week. So let me move this out of the way. Now, again, this week we're going to be focusing on personal narrative. So what is a personal narrative? And guess what? A personal narrative is a story about you. You're right. It's all about you. And it's something that happened to you, and it's how you feel about it. So let's look at some of the features that are in a personal narrative. So the first one is it focuses on small moments from your life. So we're not talking about like from the day you were born to right now, right? A personal narrative just focuses on one small moment. Remember my book that I shared earlier called How I Spent My Summer Vacation? He just talked about his summer vacation. That was a small moment in his life. And remember, we're going to be using words like I and me and my and we in our writing because remember, personal narrative is a story about ourselves. So I'm going to be using the word I and me and my a lot in my story. Now, the other feature that a personal narrative have is it has a beginning, middle, and an end. So just like when you're telling a story, you tell it from the beginning, you tell what happens in the middle, and then you tell what happened at the end of a story. And here's some transition words to help you. You can use first, next, and last. Now, another feature is it describes people, places, and things. Remember, what do we call that? That's right, we call those nouns. So we're going to be describing nouns. We're going to tell how it looks, how it smells, how it feels, how it tastes, right? We want all of that descriptive language in our writing, and that will give us a better visual when we are reading your writing. Now, another feature is it tells how you feel. So when you are writing about that small moment, were you happy, were you sad, were you excited? We want to put all that feeling so we can imagine what it was like during that time that you're going to be writing about. And the last feature of a personal narrative is using dialogue. And using dialogue is just when we put in what we call quotations of someone talking, right? Talking back and forth. So we'll use words like asked and said, and that's just going to make our writing a better writing. So this whole week, I'm going to walk you through how to write a personal narrative. okay? Because remember, it's a story about, you're right, it's a story about you. So I have a story here written by a second grader that I want to share with you. And this is a story called The Bull by Reese. And boys and girls, I want to show this to you because this is what we call an expert model. So this is what I want you to be able to do at the end of second grade. This is what we call mastery writing, right? Are you going to write like this right now? No, but we're going to continue writing so that at the end of second grade, we get to what we call mastery writing. And this is an exemplar of what we consider a mastery writing, okay? So are you going to write exactly how Reese wrote? No, but he worked all year. And guess what? If you work on your writing all year, you'll get to his writing. So ready? Let's read what he wrote. This is his personal narrative. Ready? He has a title, and it's called The Bull. My grandfather is a farmer. He raises cattle and grain and hay to feed them. Once, when we visited, he let me brush his big black Angus bull. I stood on a box behind the fence and brushed the bull's head. He liked the feeling, but Grandpa said to be careful. Keep your hand above the fence. He could break your arm if he tossed his head. He is friendly, but you can never tell. The next morning, I went out in the backyard. The fence was down. The bull was loose. There he stood, and there I stood with nothing between us. I held very still, but the bull saw me. Then he began to walk my way. I was so scared. The bull was huge. Suddenly, I heard a shout. Hey, bull, hey! It was Grandpa, waving his arms. He carried a bucket of corn. The bull turned toward Grandpa. It followed him back to the field like a puppy. I let out a sigh. I was so thankful for Grandpa's help. Later, Grandpa and I fixed the fence. Well, that was a 2,000-pound surprise for you, he said. I smiled, but I was still shaking. Wow, did you see that writing done by Reese? Again, are we going to write like this right now? No, this is what we call mastery writing. Will we get to this? Yes, boys and girls. This is what I want you to write like at the end of second grade. So all week this week, I'm gonna walk you through how to write a personal narrative, okay? And it may seem hard, boys and girls, but remember, it's not that hard. Remember, all we say is, I can do it. We say, I am smart, and we say, I am awesome. You're right. So don't forget, boys and girls, to write me a letter so that I can send you one of these activity books. And don't forget to put your address so I can send it to you. So don't forget to come back tomorrow so we can continue our writing. You guys did an awesome job. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
To a brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.